Hello friends, I welcome you all to this online session of BSc Part 1 Compulsory English. In this session, we will read a small short story by Johannes V. Jensen. In the last session, we have already discussed about Johannes V. Jensen and try to understand his life and work that will help us to understand this story. We will foreground. We have already learned about the context and foreground of the story. We have also learned about the slavery in America. We also learn about human trafficking from African continent. So in this session onward, with the help of this context and with the help of this socio-cultural terminologies, we will try to understand this short story, Lost Forests. Let us read this short story. What is written in this short story, Lost Forests, and we will also try to understand whether this title, Lost Forests, is appropriate for this story or not, suits this story or not. So let us read this story. This is the unit of a reading comprehension. For that, we will read it first and then try to understand it. Without Instead of going directly toward the themes and characters, we will read it first and then we will discuss about the themes, then we will discuss about the characters. So let us begin now. So this is the first part of this story. I have prepared all these things. I have divided the story into the parts because I want to make this kind of a ppt for you. So for my convenience only, I have divided this in the part. In actual story, you can see there is no such kind of parts. So the part first we will read. Kora was the name of a man who tilled the soil. When he had saved some money, he went to town to buy a slave. The dealer showed him several slaves, but Kora was not satisfied. So, this is the first sentence of the story. This sentence introduces us a character of a Kora, who is a farmer. And in this particular period, when the story was written, or this story was the setting of the story, when the human trafficking and the slave trading was very common thing. So this Kora, the American farmer or American settler, when he tried very hard, he tilled his soil and saved some money. He go to buy a slave. So the dealer, when he go to the slave trading or the slave market, you can see the dealer showed him several slaves. This sentence in this particular word, several, it shows that there are several African people. They were traded or they were trafficked. So they were all these dealers have brought them there to sell. So you can understand that selling and buying, you can see it is a very evil social tradition. So so this dealer showed him several slaves, but Kora was not satisfied. So I suppose you want me to drag them all out here. So he want to drag all of them from the shop. You can see there is a shop of slaves. The dealer grumbled. It was noon and the slaves were all asleep. Grumbled is a difficult word. See, grumbled means complain about something in a bad tempered way. Grumbled. So he shows his unwillingness to drag all the slaves from his shop to the to outside. So he grumbled. So it was noon and the slaves were all asleep. So without thinking about their sleep or asking them, excuse me, will you please come out to see Mr. Kura, instead of all these things, because all these things are about the civilized people, and we were dealing with savage, uh, a people caught from Africa for the tilling the soil. So this is what he dealer grumbled and drag all these slaves from their sleep out in the noon. So the dealer pulled the chains and the slaves filed out sleepily. Cora looked at them, all examining each one very carefully. So this is what, as if he is buying or he is purchasing some object or he is purchasing some machine. He is looking like that. Cora is inspecting a person, inspecting the slaves as if they were just the machines. So this is through these sentences or these descriptions you can see this author is focusing on the evil tradition of a slavery. So Cora examining each one very carefully. So feel this one. So this as if this slave trader is introducing the slaves as if he is introducing a machine. See, feel this one. He is a fine husky fellow, said the dealer, and pushed one of the slaves forward. So husky is difficult word here. See, husky means big and strong. Husky means big and strong fellow. So feel this one, he is a fine husky fellow, said the dealer, and pushed one of the slaves forward. So what do you think of him? Hasn't he a powerful chest? Strike it and see. And look here at this his wrist. The tendons are like the strings of a violin. Open your mouth. So see, tendons is a difficult word here. Tendons means a flexible but unelastic cord of a strong fibrous colleagues of tissues. Here you can see are they here. So tendons. So open your mouth. So the dealer thrust a finger in the slave's mouth and turned him toward the light. Now you will see some teeth, he boasted. He drew the back of a knife across the slave's teeth. Look, you can understand. He drew the back of a knife across the slave's teeth. Look, those teeth are like a steel. They can bite a nail into two. So this is what you can see. He is showing a slave as if he is a machine. He The slave is not a human being for both of them, not for a slave trader, not for a Cora. It is just a machine. Cora is a customer and this slave trader is a businessman. He is doing business with this slave. So nothing to do. And as you can see throughout this short story, you can see there is not a single moment or a single situation where the name of the slave is mentioned or his voice is mentioned. Never. So he is treated inhuman. He is treated as if he is a machine. So as if we see when we go to buy a bullock or we go to buy a buffalo, you can see we see their teeth, we watch their teeth. So this is similar thing is happening here in the slave market as if they were a savage animal. He is the slave trader and this Cora is treating these slaves as if they were machines or they were animals. So Cora bethought himself at a while. He ran his hand over the slave appraisingly. So see appraisingly, what do we mean by appraisingly? Assessing the value. So he is appraising the value of the slave. So the value of the slave. Pressing the smooth muscles with the tip of his finger to see if they were firm. So he is doing all these things. Finally, he made up his mind to buy him, paid the price with a scorn, had the slave unmanacled. So if you go to the dictionary and try to want this word unmanacled, this word is in fact a coined word. It is not there. Unmanacled means unchained. This is what the picture shows you, unmanacled, unmanacling process. So this slave trader or a shipman or boatman is unmanacling the slave. So unmanacled and took him home. So this is the first scene of the story. In this first scene, you can see is a situation or the event is explored where Cora, a farmer, go to buy or purchase a slave. So he tilled his soil, collect or save some money, and go to buy a slave to till his soil, till his fields for him. So here you can see a conversation between a slave trader and the Korah. And both these persons, slave trader and Korah, were treating the slave as an inhuman machine. It is nothing to do with this Korah, this slave is nothing to do with what is happening in his life. He is just an object, one is selling and one is purchasing. This is what is the evil social tradition. You can see if I have also screened you one video, but there are several videos, ample literature available on the slave trading. There is a very significant book. It is also afterwards transformed into the film, adapted for the film, that is Aldous Huxley's The Roots. If it is possible for you, read at least the summary of The Roots. Similar kind of story you can see in The Roots. So even the more inhuman things were described in Aldous Huxley's The Roots. It is also available in a film version. If it is possible, go YouTube and watch that movie, The Roots. So this is a situation where one is purchasing a slave and one is selling a slave, and the slave is treated as an inhuman entity, inhuman commodity, that one is selling and one is purchasing. You can understand that in the last video also we came across that this slave tradition is not only a product of these European settlers, but it was present in African society also. And afterwards, when these European settler watched them, especially when they were fighting wars between each other and they capture certain warriors, they treat them as a slaves. But the difference is that they treat them as a human being. In Africa, they treat them as a human being. What these European settlers do, these European settlers started treating them as if they were inhuman machines. Uh, they started using them as an animal. So this is what difference between African slavery and European slavery. So this is what the situation. Very skillfully author has defined the slavery. Author has focused on slavery. He tried to show you that how this slave trading is a inhuman. It is not a human thing. It is an inhuman thing. It is a barbaric thing. So this is what here I also shown you a picture. You can see this is a person who captured all these African men and he is bringing them to the America or Europe for the uh, field as a field workers. So this is what they were nothing to do. They don't have a social exposure. They don't have an entertainment. They don't have health facilities. They don't have a basic amenities with them. They are there only to work in the fields. They are there only to work in the companies. So this is what the slavery is. So in the very first situation, in the very first part of the story, author very keenfully, very carefully show you that how slave trading was once conducted. So this is what. So we also seen all these difficult word while we were discussing. Let us see it once again. Grumpled means complain about something in a bad temper. So he is not happy that Korah is inspecting each and every slave. He don't want to drag all of them into the light, but as Korah demanded it, he drag him. And this is not a single store. There are several store available in the market of the slave trading. You can understand the scope of the slave trading at that time. So this person, the sailor, is not very happy with the Korah, that he don't want to drag all of them from the all of them into the light, but he has to do it because Korah demanded it, or he threats him that he will go to another shop. So there are several shops in the market. It is also revealed that there are several shops in the market and there are ample slaves available for the sale in the market. So you can understand that this is the inhuman thing that we came across. So then we learn about the husky, big and strong. This is a word used by a slave trader. He is showing this slave as if he is a machine. He is describing his chest, he is describing his tendons, he is describing his chest, describing his teeth. So all these things as if he is describing the parts of the machine. It is not a human thing, it is an inhuman thing. So this is what the slavery. And this slavery also afterwards gave a birth to the racial discrimination in America and Europe. So today also you can see that there are several incidences happening happening due to the racial discrimination in America and Europe. So husky is a big and strong fellow. Most of the people buy this big and strong fellows for them because they can able to work hard for them. If slave is not husky or if the slave is not big and strong, they will kill him. So this is what the tradition. So they were not treating them as a human beings, but they were treating them as if they were cattles. Even there are several videos on YouTube regarding the slave boats. You can see it is more inhuman than uh, beyond our imagination. We can't even imagine that kind of things happening on the earth. So husky is a word that shows the big and strong. Then tendons, a flexible but unelastic cord of strong fibrous collagen tissues. As I show you, many times this is also happening that as most of these African slaves try to run away, and to avoid such a kind of things, these slave owners cut their tendons. So this is also very inhuman. They cut their tendons. So then appraisingly, so assessing the value. So this Cora, who wants to buy a slave, he is appraising. So he is assessing the value of the slave. He is thinking about his age, his potential, his strength. All these things he is assessing because he want maximum output from him. So he want to give or pay minimum and uh, want maximum output. So appraisingly assessing the value. So he is assessing the value of the slave as if he is a machine. He is thinking about his body parts, whether he is strong, whether he is hardworking, or all these things he is thinking about. Then unmentioned, we came across this word also. Unmentioned means unchained. So when this Kora purchased a slave, the slave trader unchain him, and Kora lead him towards his field. We will read this part once again instead of discussing and exploring all these things. We will read it very simply. So listen it carefully because all the difficult words you have already understood. Try to understand the meaning of this story. I am not going to tell this in Marathi. So Kora was the name of a man who tilled the soil. When he had saved some money, he went to town to buy a slave. The dealer showed him several slaves, but Kora was not satisfied. I suppose you want me to drag them all out here, the dealer grumbled. It was noon and the slaves were all asleep. I can go elsewhere, Cora said simply. Well, well, the dealer pulled the chains and the slaves filed out sleepily. Cora looked at them all, examining each one very carefully. Feel this one. He is a fine, husky fellow, said the dealer, and pushed one of the slaves forward. What do you think of him? Hasn't he a powerful chest? Strike it and see. And look here at his wrist, the tendons are like the strings of a violin. Open your mouth. The dealer thrust a finger in the slave's mouth and turned him towards the light. Now you will see some teeth, he boasted. He drew the back of a knife across the slave's teeth. Look, Those teeth are like steel. They can bite a nail into two. Cora bethought himself at a while. He ran his hand over the slave appraisingly, pressing the smooth muscles with the tip of his fingers to see if they were firm. Finally, he made up his mind to buy him, paid the price with a scowl, and the slave unmantled and took him home. So, this is what the first part of this short story. This first part is potential enough to indicate the subject theme of the story. It is regarding the slavery, it is regarding a slave, uh, nameless slave, voiceless slave we are supposed to read in the upcoming parts. So we will stop here and continue the same in the next session. In the next part, we will read what happened with a Korah and his slave. We will stop here and continue the same in the next session. Thank you for listening.